Welcome to Breaking Ice and Building Bridges from Possibilities. I'm Kelly Johnson.
And I'm Byron Jackson. Glad you're here.
Connecting a community through conversation.
Hello, and again, welcome to Breaking Ice, Building Bridges. I'm Santiago and I also have my co-host,
Peaches.
And joining us today is
Sherri Williams.
Thank you so much for being here with us on this rainy day. So now we just have like really cozy vibes. We got our tea.
We're feeling great. I just need a blanket.
We get to sit down and have a good chat about your story with Possibilities. So I guess take it away, Peaches, with the first.
Sure. So I kind of want to just get to know you. I mean, I already have gotten to know you, but for the benefit of our listeners, we would like to get to know you just as far as what you did for the community before joining Possibilities, and then what have you done with the community after joining Possibilities?
Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me. First of all, as
We're
always,
excited you're here.
Honor being with you guys because you are just a special group of people. And I like to say whenever I mention Possibilities to someone, they say, Possibility, what a name. But let me tell you a little bit about me, my background. I'm a native of Oklahoma City. And I have made note of a need in the community, and it's awareness of different things that can make the community better. And a lot of it has to do with being involved or understanding the political process. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you how often I've heard people say, oh, there's an election today? And I said, this is crazy. Do you not know what's going on? So a friend of me and a friend were talking. He said, can you believe we have to do something? Mm-hmm. So before I even got involved with Possibility, that's what I was able to do, kind of reach out to friends and community, kind of let them be aware of things going on in the community.
So so that was before,
right?
And then I think you joined in on a People Circle night, right?
Yes, and when I heard it, I didn't even know about Possibilities, and I kept hearing people saying things. I had no idea what it was, and someone invited me to come, and when I was there on the People Circle night and saw that the network and how many people had different things that they were interested in starting, mm-hmm. or interested in doing, a light bulb went off. And I said, my goodness, I can see Possibilities being a vehicle to help me direct my energy into my particular goal. And that is before actually starting an organization called PACE. It is an acronym for Political Awareness and Community Education. And with that, I was able to network and give even presentations that were sort of like cutting my teeth in our circle.
Mm-hmm. Those were some great nights because you did one on political awareness, and then you did one on QR code education as well, which I thought I learned some stuff, which was pretty cool. I mean, QR codes are pretty great.
Yes, and that's a part of community education. There's so much that is just some very simple information that could be very impactful for individuals, their families, and communities. But can you imagine just knowing that you just coming out and voting can make a difference? I know of 3 candidates in the last 5 years who have lost a race less than 50 votes. And that just, that is just mind-boggling. 50 people, you can just find 6 people who know 6 people who know 10 people, mm-hmm. You can network it out that way. It's 5 people with 10 friends.
Yeah. But it all starts with knowing, what's even happening.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Or even where to go, what to do, exactly. All your options. Because I know you've talked about, absentee ballots and how to kind of go about all that stuff.
how to make voting easy. If people, they just don't know, absentee ballot, they say, well, I don't qualify for that. Well, yes, you do qualify for that. Every state has different rules. Oklahoma has some of the best voting flexibility, flexibility as far as voter empowerment. Absentee ballots, early in-person voting. A day before, you can actually bring in your absentee ballot if you have not mailed it in time. Just those type of things are just impactful. And I often talk about the benefits of absentee ballots. You get it sometimes almost a whole month before the election. And that will give you the opportunity to look and see what's on the ballot.
And make it like an informed decision too, and not be stressed out about it.
Exactly. You're familiarized yourself with the ballot, and now you can vote.
I know that's one thing that when I go in to vote, and I'm like, there's all these people in here. I have to wait in line for forever, and I just do I have a pen? I don't know.
I thought we were voting for one thing, and there's two sides.
Like, then what is this one? I haven't even heard of this one. Who's this guy? I don't know.
You'll get all that information in advance. And, and often, we talk about, a lot of times when people say, well, if I commit to an absentee ballot, what if I lose it? No problem. You can vote in person, even if you have an absentee ballot. You just have to sign an affidavit, just a little sheet, and it's a pink sheet in Oklahoma, at least right now. The precinct official will just say, sign your name to say that I didn't mail in my ballot. And vote, because of course that's illegal. So just as soon as people are aware, yes, you heard the old adage of knowledge is power. That's what it is. Your resources available to you, you will be empowered. Less stress.
Yes. Thank goodness. So, do you think that after being at People's Circle, that you are able to share with people differently, or?
Well, I'm also at an organization called Toastmasters, and that helps a lot. But the beautiful thing about Possibilities, the network, you can hear other things that people are doing, and you may have an interest in that. That's the beauty of the network. They may have interest in what you're doing. And even, talk about other organizations. It's just a beautiful thing, because you have like-minded people who are trying to do something to better the community. And Possibilities is that place. It's just a beautiful thing. And one thing I like to commend Possibilities on, the workshops that they have to help people to develop particular skill sets to move their project forward. And I really commend you all for what you guys do. And I met a lady from who's recently moved here from California, and she said she was talking about some things she used to do there, and she would like to do them here. I said, "Well, you really don't know that many people. Why don't you come to Possibilities?" And so I look forward for her meeting this great organization.
Oh, that's great. Well, we're excited to meet her too. Yes. Cool. Do you have any questions?
Yeah. I'm curious about maybe your political journey, right? So you probably came at it from a sense of, well, I don't know enough about this, and now there's all of this information, but then you were so energized by having the information that you wanted to share it. So tell me a little bit about how you got to be not just an informed voter, but also so passionate about it that you had to share that information with others.
Okay, that's a good question. My father was very active in voter registration, and this is during the Civil Rights era in the 60s. And I was a little tot, but I would go hang around him while he would do certain things in different organizations. And just seeing that passion, it just seemed to be so natural to me. And later finding out some people I knew, their father did not do what my father did. It just seemed like everyone's dad does this. But I felt that it was important to understand that some decisions being made are decisions that we can help influence about us, as citizens. And if you're not participating in the process, you become, losing some things that are important to you and your communities. Like, for example, say that you have a park at your elementary school that you attended activities, arts and crafts, but due to cuts, all of a sudden the doors are boarded up. There's nothing there. The park rec area is closed down. But those things are essential. And that's like the local level. Mm-hmm. A lot of people would think you only vote during presidential elections. I said, no. And we have a thing that we developed in an organization called Keeping It 100, meaning voting 100% of the time, every year. And so that information, when it came to possibilities, I made sure I had a business-sized card full of all the election dates. And on the back, of course, I had QR codes and say, hey, guys, these are election dates. Not everyone's election necessarily will fall on the same day, because in some areas, like it may be a citywide election, so maybe countywide, but not all cities and counties in the state has those elections. So anyway, but bottom line, just the information and the way I saw how my father moved and people in the community moved during those times were so impactful to me.
How have you seen the results of maybe reaching out to people and helping them to be informed? What have people told you about how you've impacted them?
Oh, I love this one. I have well, I'll give an example of one of my person that I've told her about these things. Now I look at her and smile, because it's like, okay, it's a spinoff, and you want to be duplicated in doing the great thing, and seeing the duplication of people reaching out in their casual setting, playing cards at the senior center, and hearing them talk about, oh, my goodness, right up the street is the county election board. We can go vote today, to see people asking me, well, Sherri, are you aware of there's an election, but I don't know if I'm voting, and I can tell them how to do it, but telling them how to make sure their families are connected. And for them to spin off and have the confidence, because you don't want to be the only one. You want your whole network to be strong. You want to be deep and wide, doing the same thing. We had a goal, our first year of kicking off the Keeping It 100, is that in the first month, we wanted to have at least 5 people, which is our leaders, who had at least 10 people they can reach out to. Mm-hmm. The next month, it just progressed through that. And that right there is just something to see. And I said, we need more of us. Now, 5 people are willing to do the network of 5 to 10 people. If they're part of an organization, that could be 30 to 100 people. Now, just keeping people informed. When you see a lot of misinformation, you say, my goodness, if no one says the opposite, they don't know the balance of it. I mean, there can be difference of opinions, but when it's misinformation, it's really concerning.
I always find it hard to encourage people to vote, because I know, like, my brother-in-law, one of my brothers-in-laws, he's just like, well, I just don't even want to vote because I feel like it just doesn't even matter. And I'm like, but it does. And then it's like, and I struggle with how to encourage and to kind of, make it like, well, I mean, like, it matters.
Well, fortunately, we deal with overcoming objections, and so often, we say, what do you often hear? Well, my vote doesn't count. And I said, you are so right. Your vote doesn't count when you keep it in your pocket. It never counts. But it does count. And I had a nephew saying, maybe I'll vote. I said, well, would you do me a favor? Would you vote for me? He said, are you running for office? I said, no, as a favor, as your aunt, I want you to vote because it would warm my heart. It is, of course I will. You know?
I love that.
And I tell sometimes, I said, I know you are not aware of why it is important to vote. But I guarantee you, if you just look at the news and see that people are making it more difficult to vote. If it wasn't so important, they would not even care if you voted. But you have no idea of the power of your vote. They do. I said, but trust me, you want to know more about voting. So that really has helped a lot. And I tell people also, you cannot embarrass people. You got to be very loving, supportive, and understanding because they don't know what they don't know, right? If you say, you haven't voted, are you kidding me? No, that's not an approach. You want to be able to be loving, supportive, and listen. We do train our team how to listen to who you're talking to, even to the point of body language, eye contact, or over the phone. It's pretty powerful, and I have to say I'm pretty proud of the group. Yeah. We have a different aspect of it. We have people who deal with communicating to our elected officials, people being in part of the precincts, working at a precinct, signing with their county election board to vote, to work at a precinct. Because in that process, you'll learn a lot just being there. Yeah. But I as I said, they're talking about my connection with possibilities. It's let me know people are interested. And when I hear people asking more questions about different things that are going on, it's rewarding.
Voting is just one part of being a engaged citizen. And so what are maybe some of the other ways that you encourage people being engaged and involved citizens and other ways that you are a engaged and active citizen?
That's an excellent question. One thing we said, voting is just the start of it. Can you imagine hiring someone and then you don't see them for another 4 years? You want to make sure that they're doing what you expect them to do. And of course, you want to make sure that the values that you see important, that those things are being followed. And if they're not, you need to communicate. And a part of our initiative is said elected official outreach. And we have a wonderful lady who heads up that. We write letters, call, and to communicate our concerns. You know, we have. I think I told you about the other initiative, which is getting people involved as precinct officers, letting them know they will be trained by whatever county they are in. Just knowing that you can be a precinct officer, you know, and we have 3 levels of that, where you're the person that come in and check your ID. That check your ID when you come to vote. The one that hands you the ballot, they have a role. And the inspector, the one that if there's any issues or concern, they had that up and let them know it's just a simple process. When I signed up for that, I thought it was a volunteer thing. And just going to the training, they paid us for mileage. And I said, oh, I didn't know. It wasn't that much. But I said, I thought this was just a service that people volunteer. But found out that when we actually worked the day, they gave us $67. Of course, we're talking about a 12-hour day, so that's a good maybe 50 cents on a dollar. No, but anyway, but it's just a showing of appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just probably about 10 years ago. They have now increased it to $200 a day. And, that's not bad for just, doing what you are there to do, which is just help people. Yeah. There are other initiatives too, but that are really great. I know what. We also have an initiative reaching out to the 17 and a half year olds and up, getting them registered. Because in Oklahoma, you can register at 17 and a half. You cannot vote until you're 18, but you can register at 17 and a half. So there's a window of like the youth outreach, from that age to 25 to get them more informed and involved. And you'd be surprised. We are also reaching out to different states. We have Oklahoma, North Carolina, and Texas right now as part of our group. So it's pretty neat to hear different things. Just staying engaged.
And I mean, I think it is just about staying engaged and finding those initiatives and those people that you can stay connected to that will then kind of plug you into those things where you can speak your mind about your opinions.
And we understand people have jobs. They have children. They have soccer, baseball, things like that for the children that they can't keep informed. But if they know someone who is engaged, you will receive calls. And if we don't have the answers, we will show them where the information is, how to get to it, or, who to reach out to, and let them form their own opinion of the decisions they choose to make. It's been fun. It really has.
What you do is really special in terms of just making that choice to reach out to people. I mean, that's what I've always liked about you, because it's like when you first came to People Circle and you were ready to go, you had that you had that slip of paper and you had your QR codes and you were just, it was great to see. And it was nice to see other people seeing you do that too, because after that, I had people that were asking me like, what is a QR code and all this other stuff. And so then that was like, I should get Sherri to come in and we should just talk about it. That would be great.
So I did a presentation just about QR codes, and I think it was just fascinating how the guy from Japan playing a game called Go, which is a grid of, I think is maybe about 16 by 16 grid, and how it had information in it. Light bulb went out for him. We can use that for inventory rather than the barcodes. QR code. And I said, that is fascinating.
Mm-hmm. And I had no idea when you said that during that, and then that you can even do it from your browser and it has it like built in. I was like, what? And it's like, I thought I liked, I did QR code stuff a lot, but I mean, because Byron's always talking about how I'm obsessed with QR codes, and I am, but like even after that, I was like, I'm going to be even more obsessed with the QR codes. You have no idea.
I said, that's my friend right there. She knows about the power of QR codes.
Kindred spirits.
Yeah. Let me just digress a little bit on QR codes to have your ID, your contact information or information about an organization, and all down there you're going to have videos, everything right there on your phone from QR code, multiple videos and websites.
After that, we redid our business cards and we stuck our QR codes on there. So we have one that leads straight to our website, and it has all of the things. It has the videos, it has the information, and then one of them goes straight to our podcast platform, which is great. And it makes things so easy, because then it's like, oh yeah, you want to know all about us? Here.
The power of information. Information is knowledge, and the power of doing the least to get the most impact, so.
Yes, I do enjoy when things are just simple.
Have you been involved in other possibilities programs?
Well, it was the first project was the podcast workshop. And I was so impressed with the detail, the knowledge, all that you guys presented. I said, my goodness, this is a top-notch organization. Have not been able to go into your camp or I'm not sure what it is, the workshop where, I thought, and I just have not been available at the time, but I sure hope someday to be able to attend. And boy, and the In the Groove, oh my goodness. That's a lot. That's a lot of fun.
Ooh, we do have a good time. We do know how to throw a party.
So all for good reason though. But I really enjoyed that. That's really, really a wonderful thing that you guys do.
Thanks. What about the podcasts? What about podcasting do you think is so important? Do you think? Because I know for us, it's just about, giving people the chance to just share what they're passionate about and share what they have things to say about.
Well, as I finally got some projects behind me, and that's exactly what I'm going to start really soon. But I realized over time that podcasting is a way to get information out over and over again. People can rewind and say, well, I don't want to hear that again, or share, you need to hear this. With a podcast, it is, again, that network of information over and over again. You don't have to wonder what was said. You can just play it again. And you can share it easily. It's compact, as I said, efficiency as far as communicating information. So that's why podcasts are really, really, really good. Yes.
And I mean, I can go on a whole spiel about the power of podcasts, but at least one little thing of that is that what makes it really special about engaging in community in the way that we do is that you can, for example, you can show up to people's circle and say what you have going on, right? But you have to be there at a certain time, in a certain place. And while it's great, that's the best way to connect with people in person, face to face. You really get to share in people's spirit, really. But if you can't be there and you really want to hear about what's going on, a podcast makes it possible to do that at your own pace, on your own time. You don't have to do it all at once. You don't have to be necessarily in the same place. As long as you know where to go and how to listen to it, you can do it whenever you want. You can engage in community without necessarily having to be in the same place. So that then maybe eventually you will show up and be in the right time and place because now you know a bit more. You can be engaged in the community that way.
Exactly. Such a powerful medium. Just so powerful.
It takes the stress out too. I didn't even think about that, how it's like you are engaging in community, but at your own pace, which is nice. I didn't think about it that way. That was nice.
Yeah. And someone works a graveyard shift. They can't be there, but they can have access to it.
That's true too. I had a friend who did graveyard shift and he absolutely went bonkers because he was just like, I can't talk to people. I need people. I miss people. So, and I think this was before podcasts were really popular. So it was like, didn't even think that wasn't even really an option.
Right. So I like I said, possibilities is something that I think is needed in any community. And what I love about it, you have such positive people in possibility. And I think it's great too. Let's say someone is from out of town, as the young lady I met. I said, I haven't met any people. Well, you need to get in the circle.
Come make some friends.
Yeah, make some friends.
We got some cool people here.
So she's looking forward to get connected. So I love what you guys do.
Thanks. Yeah, I think any last thoughts that you have of possibilities or community in general?
Well, I just hope people stay connected, stay encouraged, realize the power of people pulling together and rooting for each other. It's so empowering, because anything else can divisions and energy of negativity is so destructive. It's so much power in support, love, and
Be curious about each other.
curious
Be
about each other.
about the
I often,
things.
speaking of that, I always tell people, I have friends from all over the world, and even when I was in college, I just seek out other people, because guess what we all have in common? We're gonna have to eat sometime. Why don't we break bread together and just learn and meet one another? And you find that people are the same. They want the same things. And we are the same people from the same.
You have any last thoughts on community or possibilities?
No, I think that we've phrased it all together really well, but then also, I guess, there is more possibilities here to engage with, whether it is that you want to listen to some of our community podcasts, whether it is that you want to join a people circle, maybe you want to participate in a workshop. And
We got lots of workshops.
Yeah. So, I think with this example of someone coming out of town and looking for, how do I engage with community here? Or not even someone out of town. I guess a slight tangent story. I was at the parade for the Thunder. And
Oh, wow.
I parked really far away, and then I rode my skateboard and went really, really far. But what I realized as I was participating in it, not just being in one place, but then kind of being able to go to different parts of the parade because I was able to move kind of quickly, was that there's a lot of people in this city. Oklahoma City is not a tiny town by any means. And so there were hundreds of thousands of people there. And it was really interesting to look around and see, oh, all of these people are my community, are around all of us. And so it can be really scary that this is kind of a really spread out city, and we don't know each other, we don't talk to each other. And there's definitely people who have lived here their whole lives and haven't really engaged with what community really means to them. And so I hope that maybe if you're listening to this, that you can take a step. It doesn't have to be a really big step. You don't have to show up in front of people and talk to people. Maybe it just takes listening to a podcast. Maybe it just takes looking something up. But community is available here, and we are surrounded by lots of people, and we can actually do a lot together.
That's a good point. I would like to just piggyback on that. You brought something to my mind.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people who are rediscovering themselves.
Mm.
They may be a new widow.
Mm.
They may have been taking care of a loved one with Alzheimer's, and now they're, what do I do with myself? How do I reconnect? Possibilities would be a great place for them to reconnect with people. Children now going, empty nesters.
Mm-hmm.
Now what do I do? Come to possibilities,
Right. We got so many cool things going on.
Yes.
And just people to meet too. Yeah.
Sherri, thank you so much for doing this with us and telling us your story and giving us more ideas as to how to be engaged. And thank you, Peaches, for co-hosting with me. This has been Breaking Ice, Building Bridges.
Connecting a community through conversation.
Breaking Ice, Building Bridges is the Possibilities community podcast platform. Thanks for tuning in.